It's transition time again in Google Zeitgeist to our final program segment, which is called 10 Years In, 10 Years Out. We're going to take stock of the 10 years since Google's founding and look forward to what we can expect in the 10 years to come. You'll be seeing at some point a video behind me talking about the 10-year saga. You can absorb that with part of your brain and listening to me with the rest of your brain. The 10 years is a natural segment, of course, for Google itself, since this is the 10th anniversary of its founding. It's very interesting to look back on the situation of the world at that time. It was the springtime moving into high summer of the tech industry boom. I went back and saw that was probably the historic low point for the price of oil 10 years ago, where in current dollars is about $15 a barrel for a price of oil then. It was a tumultuous time, as some members of our audience recall. There was the impeachment of a US president in the year 1998, but optimistic in most ways, because there seemed to be problems solved, from the end of history to permanent prosperity and all the rest. We're going to have 4 excellent presentations on this last segment, and in the Pyramid of Excellence theme, which is our leitmotif at Zeitgeist, they're going to get better and better and better towards the end. They're all good, though. We're going to start with Hans Rosling, who's the founder of gapminder.org. You've heard him many times before here at Zeitgeist. You've probably heard him in other speeches at influential conferences around the world. He is particularly gifted in putting questions in perspective, both intellectually and visually and graphically. And his Gapminder Foundation has created software which Google has recently acquired and which Hans Rosling will be using to make his presentation now. So please join me in welcoming back Hans Rosling.
Thank you. To present statistics has become very easy because Al Gore has shown the world that it's all about actually to get the if we have this magic functioning now. Yeah, it's all about hockey. Huh? Statistics is all about finding the hockey sticks. We have a trend. Something happens in society the same way year after year, and then suddenly it turns away in some other direction. So I will use now the software here and try to trace some hockey sticks in 4 different areas. And we will start by looking at what will we start with? Well, we start with something very important. We start with HIV. What is the HIV situation in the world? Look here. On this axis here, I have the percentage of people infected with HIV among the adult population in the countries of the world. Each bubble is a country. And on this axis, I have income per person. And the size of the bubble is the number of people infected with HIV in the world. And this is 1990. And we started really to be scared about what happened in Zimbabwe and Uganda. But let's have a look here at Tanzania, because we know that the situation is very bad in Africa. Sub-Saharan African countries are the blue, but it's very different within African countries. This is when we go onwards, year by year by year. You can see the HIV frequency increasing. The number infected is getting wider in the country. And this is how it looked 10 years ago. Really, really scary. Botswana was going up like this. Tanzania, one of the poorest countries, was going up like this. But what has happened since? Well, today we have much better data. Now we have representative sample of HIV. And what has happened is that we have very nice hockey sticks taking place. HIV has flattened out in Africa. It has started to decline. And on the whole world now, we have reached the peak of HIV. And this is in spite of treatment being available. Now, treatment will cause more people being infected in the country because they survive. But what is most important is actually not treatment, if I should be brutal. It's to decrease the transmission. And that is taking place. So the first issue, HIV, it's a good message. It doesn't mean that everything is happy. This will take 1 to 2 generations to clear up this disease in the world. But the hockey stick has already taken place. So what is the next? Next I will look at is another big issue, oil. Now I swapped here, and I show on this axis oil production, the barrels per day. On this, natural gas production, cubic meter per day. Once more, each bubble is a country, but the size of the bubble now is the proven oil reserve. And you see the big bubble up there. Who is that? This one. Of course, it's Saudi Arabia. And then they have a very high production. And then we have Iran. Ooh, they have a lot of oil. And the color here shows the amount of gas which they have. So there are two countries which have gas reserves, and that's Iran and it's Russia. The other countries are blue here, and they have very limited gas reserves. So for me, this was an eye-opener when I suddenly got the oil and gas statistics into this. And I saw that Russia and the United States are producing so much gas and so much oil in spite of not having so many reserves. Look at that little US bubble. It's almost gone, the reserves, and yet the production is so high. So let's see what has happened the last 10 years. Is there a hockey stick or... No, it's a face-off. It's a face-off between Russia and the United States. And who wins? Russia wins. And we see United States more or less like a broken hockey stick. The country is declining its production in oil, and the amount of oil reserve is also declining. This is a way of very fast grasping what is happening in different ways, in different sectors in the world. So after oil, what is more natural to talk about than the effect of burning fossil fuel? Carbon dioxide. Now, here I start already 1882. The bubbles are the countries. Here I have income per person. The countries had very low income at that time. And on this axis, carbon dioxide emission per person. And the size is the amount of carbon dioxide from the whole population coming out. And the leading one was, of course, where the Industrial Revolution started, United Kingdom. But already here, United States were catching up. The color here just shows the continent. The brown is European bubble, and these are American bubbles. And you can see what has happened. When the Industrial Revolution picked up, first carbon dioxide emission per person increased, the amount increased when the bubbles got bigger, and then economic growth started, and countries got richer and richer and richer. And when we were here in 1982, we started to have the first alarm that this may harm the climate. And look, there's a bubble down there. China already had quite a lot of carbon dioxide emission in 1982, but the amount per person was very low. And United States were up there with 18 tons per person emitted, and the total amount being the biggest in the world. And what has happened since? Do we see a hockey stick of decreased carbon dioxide, which we need? No, this is what happens. It just goes on, and it's just a handle. We don't see any hockey stick yet. And this is really a big challenge to follow. Now, there's one little here where we may see a hockey stick. This is Norway, which is up there, my neighboring country, which is actually have a hockey stick going in the wrong direction of higher amount of carbon dioxide emitted. Now, let's move on. Let's have a look at the next major issue, and that's the dollar. Isn't that what we are all interested about today, is to see the dollar? And I will show you the mother of all hockey sticks, Hu Xiaolian. Many people ask today, where have all the dollar gone? They are not at Wall Street any longer, where they used to be. No, they are in the State Administrator of Foreign Exchange in China, which is managed by Hu Xiaolian. And this is where she is thinking about where she should invest the $1,700 billion that she is in charge of at present. And this is her hockey stick. This is 1978. China didn't almost have any foreign reserve, but Deng Xiaoping said, let's give up this central planning, let's go for market economy. And they went for market economy, year after year, decade after decade. But that didn't generate any foreign reserves until the end of the 90s, and here the hockey stick is coming, the mother of all hockey stick. It's absolutely amazing what has happened in China over the last 7 years. They accumulate at present about $1 billion a day, which we have heard about before. And to me, seeing this like this really make the big difference. So what is it we can see to understand this? Now, I show the forward one here. GDP per capita on this axis, that is money, and here life expectancy. I'm a professor of public health, so that's my indicator. And the blue bubbles are the countries of the world, and the colored bubbles are now the provinces of China. This is US, this is Japan, down here is India. And these are the different provinces, Shandong, Guangdong, and Shanghai. Now, what has happened with the provinces of China really show the background on that enormous move economically. Can you see how almost all provinces of China move faster forward than the countries of the world? And you can see that some move really, really fast. One more eye-opener for me was when I compared Shanghai, which in Asia is the corresponding to what the Netherlands is in Europe. Let's compare just Shanghai and the Netherlands at the big river mouth on the eastern and the western side of the Eurasian continent. Here we go, year by year, and Shanghai is coming, and they are catching up, and bye-bye the Netherlands. It's quite amazing what you can do with statistics. We started Gapminder Foundation, and we said we have to put up serious things on the internet. And people said, no, you're wasting your time, you know. We didn't do much fancy website. We thought people have to go somewhere to look at it. And they said, this won't work. No, I'll try it. I'll try to be the YouTube professor, I said. And people said that won't work, you know. The internet doesn't have serious stuff. People just go there, you know, for recreation. They go there for sex. They go there for money. They go there for health. So you can never succeed on the internet, the Swedish public health professor. Let's see, who's on top of this? Can we use the internet really for the serious purpose and understand? We'll make a search. I'm on top! And I am beating a sponsored link, that's teen sex information site. Now, if serious people use the internet will get serious content. And it starts by the providers of information. That is the way we can do it. And I'll stop here 1 minute before the end of my time, because this software is so efficient. So I have shown you actually 120,000 numbers. This is in these animations. This is the number I've shown. And we have this on the website. You got this graph where you have the web address. And when Google now gradually will try to scale up and make this software more versatile, there is a way in which we all can access the data in an understandable format. Thank you very much.